So, this is a pretty tricky gospel to interpret. There's a judge, presumably corrupt, but at the very least he's dishonest, and he renders a good verdict for a widow because she pesters him long enough. And Jesus says that God cares about us way more than corrupt judges do, so we shouldn't be afraid to call upon God for our needs. But the gospel also said that God will secure the rights of his chosen ones who call upon him. That was a bit on the subtle side. You may not have caught that the first time. So let me expand on this. You have rights. All people have rights. Natural rights, civil rights, and what I'm going to call today salvific rights. All people have the right to seek salvation. The door is open for anyone to walk through it. And there's something that you all need to understand about rights, and you're not very likely to hear about it anywhere but here. Rights don't protect us. We protect rights. Case in point, access to clean drinking water. That is definitely a right. It is something all people deserve to have. It is not a privilege because it's, an essential need, or it relates to our dignity as human beings. So it's definitely a right. But that doesn't actually mean that everyone gets clean drinking water. We as a society have to fight for that and protect that. Powerful people absolutely have the ability to take clean drinking water away from others, and that's a violation of human dignity. Rights need to be protected. And to be fair, things get tricky when you sit down and try to figure out exactly what is or is not a right. Taking sick days without being penalized at work is a right. The freedom to just not show up to work when you don't feel like it is not a right. I'm sorry, you actually have to do your job every once in a while. You have the right to free speech, but you don't have the right to harm other people, even if you're only just using your words. And also, it is shaky moral ground to state that you have rights at the expense of the rights of others. So you get the idea. I'm glossing over things, of course. The point is the line can get blurry at times. But the gospel says that God will secure the rights of his chosen ones who call upon him. And he's referring to those salvific rights, which are the most important of them all. Without those, the rest of the rights that are yours, they're not going to get you very far if you don't have the right to seek salvation. And the good news is this. While people may have the power to take away your natural or civil rights, if your heart is open to God, he will give you whatever you need to take the next step in your spiritual journey. There is always something that we can do to move forward. You have the right to grow with God no matter what. If you are homebound and you cannot get to church, you can make a spiritual communion. If you're not able to attend religious ed classes or adult formation sessions at your parish, you can always read a worthwhile book that helps you to grow as a Catholic. And if you missed a sacrament like baptism or confirmation at the usual time, you can always pick up where you left off. That's what it means to have rights as a member of the community of the faithful. The way forward is never permanently blocked, even though there may be obstacles along the way. Faith is not always easy or convenient, but it is always possible because it's important and essential. That's what makes it a right, as opposed to a privilege. And if someone tries to take that away from you, well, then that is time to hold fast and to stand up for yourself. And when the gospel equates this to a widow pestering a judge for what she needs, that's the other side of the equation. The price. All things worthwhile have a price. And the price for your salvific rights is very reasonable. You need to keep calling upon God. Just like the widow and that corrupt judge need to be calling upon God constantly. The price is that we're not meant to be lazy, mediocre, or indifferent. We should care enough to come to Mass and be a part of a faith community. We should pray privately every single day, bringing our hopes, fears, and needs to Christ. And we should be his disciples and bring love and concern to others as best as we can every chance we get. That's your entry fee for eternal salvation. Pay attention to God, be a part of a faith community, be good to other people. What a deal. That is not buy one, get one free. That is buy one, get everlasting infinite goodness for free. You can't beat that deal. Call upon God and he will secure the rights of his people. You are his people. Don't ever forget that. And don't let anyone trick you into thinking that he doesn't care about you or have greatness planned for you. And all he asks for in return is for you to talk to him, listen to him, and treat others as you would like to be treated.